Nerd Morning Gamers. So E3 was really fun, and for me, one of the biggest things was the new trailer release for the Breath of the Wild sequel. Now, this was such an amazing game on the Switch, a fantastic experience playing, and something that I have been waiting to have a sequel for years, and I know I'm not alone. It should be noted there is no official title for this game yet. They've described it as the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, but they have not given it a name, and they're definitely not calling it Breath of the Wild 2. In this trailer, we get a lot of really cool things to look at, speculate, and here's a couple of my quick thoughts from the trailer. That red-like fire energy seems to be back, which kind of has a connection to that Ganon energy. And Ganon himself also seems to be back in some unique form. And I am interested about where he comes from and how we get him back after just defeating him in the last game. So we see Zelda fall off a ledge, and I'm wondering, are we going to be trying to find Zelda? Is that a big story component for this? Honestly, something I would have loved for this game was to have some partial gameplay as Zelda. I think that would be really cool, but maybe we'll have to wait a little bit longer for that. There are a lot of floating islands, and I think this is really reminiscent to Skyward Sword, which is kind of like the beginning era for the Legend of Zelda series and universe. And from Skyward Sword to the second in the series for Breath of the Wild, this is a massive expanse of time, yet they're having a callback to that period, and they're having these floating islands. We'll see how that connects to the Breath of the Wild experience. We are having gliding still, which is an element that made this game so much fun, and I'm really excited that they've kept gliding in this game. It looks like we're going to be getting multiple outfits again, and it's something I loved in the previous game. I thought customizing my outfits and doing that kind of thing was really fun, particularly when they had different uses or needs that by switching to the different outfits helped me accomplish different tasks in the game. And so hopefully they have some of those mechanics as well inside of the game. It looks like the Bokoblins and other creatures are a little bit more coordinated, a little bit more organized, and we're going to be having some new creatures as well to face, which will be really, really fun. It looks like we're going to also have similar abilities that we had in the previous game, as well as a couple of new abilities, which will be really interesting to see how those type of shifts in the mechanics of the game will affect gameplay, but I'm really excited for these. So a couple of quick takeaways for me, questions that I have is, why is Ganon back? What was this thing that really woke him back up? And how does that all work? Why are all of these islands suddenly starting to float? That's a really interesting and big mystery to me. And what has happened to all the people in Hyrule, particularly now that they're having this new crisis? And do I ever get to play as Zelda? That's just something I really want out of a Legend of Zelda game. This game is coming out in 2022, and I'm really excited to have a loose date for this game to be coming out, because Nintendo is usually pretty strong on their release days. They don't usually push things back. If they have a date, they're going to be making that happen, and they're usually pretty hesitant to announce a date until they're really confident about that. What are your reactions and thoughts about the trailer release that they have for the sequel to the Breath of the Wild game? Let me know. Put your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Also, you can follow me on my different social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, I have another account here on YouTube, and that's at Nerd Morning. All of those are at Nerd Morning. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time.